You have 2 new messages. First message.
Hey, we recorded another episode of the podcast. I was really hoping you'd listen to it. Let me know what you think. You hear about that new Baja Blast gelato? They had the ad at the Super Bowl. Looked pretty good. Anyway, call me back.
Message deleted. Next message. Hey, hon, just calling to let you know that I'm breaking up with you. Thanks. Message saved.
This is all the power you ever had. Now it is mine. Pity there's not more time for us.
You tell him it's open season on all suckheads.
You are left. No more clowning around. Fire!
Is that gasoline I smell? No, man. No!
Welcome, everyone, to the hit podcast Sweeping the Nation, Edging with Trash and Monk. I'm Monk.
And I'm Trash.
How you been today?
Yeah.
Brian Trash, how you been lately? You feeling good? You feeling spry and healthy? No?
No, not at all.
Because earlier today you were telling me that you feel like you've taken a sip from the fountain of youth. Just definitely nothing going on with your joints or ailments.
Yeah, I found an ambrosia that I've been taking that's making my joints feel good. Just kidding. No, I've been unable to walk normally for multiple weeks now, and I'm getting really tired of it. That's the actual T. Okay, right there is knee pain. Okay, knee pain, not T pain, knee pain.
There is no pain like knee pain. I am.
That's true. True. It's like, I guess foot pain is also pretty rough because, you know, you're walking around on your foot, you're walking around with your knee, you know, they're both a big, they're angy. It's just like, I don't know about you, listener, but for me, if I'm trying to like get out of a bad headspace and like go move around, I try and go for a walk, right? Try and go for a walk. You know what I can't do right now? I can't go for a fucking walk. That's bullshit.
That sucks ass.
Yeah, it does. How about you? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing a peachy keen aside from this big massive slug that's been slowly dripping its way out of my ear hole for the past 3 days or so.
That's right. Tell me more about this slug that's sliding out of your ear hole. What the
So I've never had these fucking ear infection problems before in my life. Welcome to Health Talk, everybody, where we talk about the gross bodily funk. Finally
ambushed.
Finally, Monk and Trash being gross on the podcast. Some people thought the day would never come, but it's here.
Yeah.
So I've had this like fucking blockage in my ear since like fucking Sunday, and it genuinely like was all just pressing right up. You know that like nerve that goes like straight down through your like jawbone or whatever, like the inflammation and swollen nastiness from my ear canal was just expanding, pushing that nerve, like rubbing it right against my jawbone for like days at a time, especially when I was like sleeping and trying to lay down. It felt like I needed like an entire, not just a root canal, but like a jaw canal, you know?
Can I just get my whole jaw removed and replaced with metal?
Honestly, for real. And
yeah,
like, I can't hear out of that ear. It's like fucking, this shit happened last year too. I don't think last year's both my ears, and both my eardrums exploded. I'm starting to think maybe my right ear didn't explode, but we'll have to let medical science hasn't caught up with what's going on inside my ears yet, so we'll have to let the peer review process function.
Okay, so I've brought up a map of the nerves in the head region.
Yeah.
Are we talking more of a mandibular or more of a maxillary?
Pain, I think maxillary. Can you send me this map so that we can both pretend we know what we're talking about and the viewers?
Sure, absolutely. I'd love to share a map of nerves.
Yeah. And the rest of y'all, you can just go to med school and figure this shit out on your own.
Yeah, you got it, right?
Definitely mandibular. Actually, now that I look at it,
okay,
absolutely so that one.
Mandibular.
Yeah.
Do you know which sub? Oh God, that's an image. That's really rough to look at.
Yeah. It might be the superficial cervical plexus too. That is where a lot of
okay. All right. That's where they keep the Plex server, right?
Yeah, that's where we store all the movies.
Oh God.
But on brighter news than the fucking Brian's silly little knee thing and the alien parasite that's slowly dripping its way into my mouth as we speak.
It's kind of like a big impacted ear turd just slowly draining into your mouth. Fucking amazing,
It's like leaving a big like yellow slug trail as it like just drips down my sinuses into my throat.
Yeah. Enter the furnace of the body.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be fucking weird this episode because I've been macrodosing decongestants and
hell yeah,
a bunch of other bullshit. Afrin.
Damn, I should do that. I should get back on that fucking cough medicine tip.
You should get back on that fucking. You should be banishing all the histamines from your soul.
Yeah. Just fully anti-hist.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to anti-hist and shrink their brain a little bit. It's good.
Yeah. So I've got shrunken brain right now, but you know who doesn't have shrunken brain? Our listeners who left us voicemails at our new edging hotline, which you can reach at any given moment at 920-350-3343. That's 920-350-EDGE. The edging hotline.
Edge.
We're gonna
what a good grab, frankly.
We're gonna make y'all listen to the whole show before you get to hear the voicemails, what you're really here for. But let me see if I can play our little intro line so you have an idea of what to expect to hear. We
got an intro song for the fucking.
Yeah, it's not a song.
Not a song. Okay.
Yeah, this is it. You've reached the Edging with Trash and Monk hotline at 920-350-EDGE. Leave a message in the sound of the beep. Suckhead.
Can you verify for me that when you call the number, that's what plays?
That is what plays when you call the number.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm a huge fan of that. And I hope that all the suckheads out there are sending us not sucking messages.
Yeah. Here's what I actually would like to get. This is the hearing from all our wonderful fans is all two of you. Absolutely the highlight of my day. Genuinely speaking, we've actually got some pretty good fan stuff to go over at the end of this episode. But what I'm really hoping to happen from this edging hotline is I put this in my Twitter bio, and I really want to get someone fucking mad at me on the internet and mad enough to call me and leave me a voicemail about how I'm the son of Satan or some bullshit.
Hell yeah. I would love to mock them on the podcast. So yeah.
You should put it in your fucking bio. I don't see the fucking voicemail line in your bio. Get that shit in there.
I mean, okay. Yeah,
what? No
not?
one's ever been
Okay.
mad at you on the internet?
Not too often.
Interesting.
You know, I used to have people mad at me all the time on the internet, but now I've chosen the path of peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you
now
know?
I only get mad if people have bad media opinions.
Yeah. Well, you know, a wise man once said that you should seek peace but prepare for war. Who said
Who
that?
was that? Who was that? Casper Van Dien?
Hold on.
Paul Verhoeven?
I think that was
Monk's
Adolf
Khaki,
Hitler,
right?
actually, is what it was.
Oh.
Benito Mussolini said, "Seek peace, but prepare for."
Oh.
No, it's some Roman dude. So it is some statue avatar bullshit.
Is it Nero?
Yeah.
Is it Mark Antony? Cleopatra? Wait, she wasn't Roman. Fuck. Close enough.
Publius Flavius, I think.
What kind of name is that?
I don't know. I almost read Pubius. So fucking cool quote, Pubius.
I'm Publius Flavortown, and I'm telling you,
I'm Guy Fieri, and I'm telling you, seek peace but prepare for war.
You know, what if Guy Fieri's actually like a lich? You know, and he's been around for a long ass time. And he used to be Publius Flavius.
Yeah.
And now he's dining, driving, and diving.
His phylacteries are the fucking dense ass onion rings that just sort of sit in your stomach like a big concrete orb in front of Target.
His phylactery is just those fucking sunglasses.
God, we should have Guy Fieri on the podcast. Do you have his agent's number?
I don't, but I can send an email to Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives and just see what happens. Hey, can we get a Guy Fieri on our podcast where we're idiots about movies?
You know, I think probably he would be on a lot of podcasts, but people are just afraid to ask.
You know, that's so true. That's one of those things. Like legitimately, a lot of where you get like people to come through and be on your podcast is just asking people. We just found out about that at work actually, because we went and reached out to a bunch of people to model our clothes.
Yeah.
And I work as a screen printer, everybody, by the way. So if you ever see me, no, you didn't. But
more like a scream printer, because you're a spooky geist.
I'm a geist. I'm a geist floating around in a shop, drinking the girl, the gamer girl bathwater soda.
Floating around because your knee's bad and you can't walk no more.
Did you see the picture? I put it up on social media. Did you see the sodas that we got for fucking Valentine's Day?
The gamer girl pink lychee or whatever.
Yeah, it's pink lychee Chinese gamer girl soda, and I'm like,
that shit looked like AI art too, which was the best part of it.
Yeah, and it like tasted. It tasted a little bit like cum. Okay,
just a little bit,
and then just a little bit, because lychee kind of tastes a little bit like cum. Don't at me, okay? I'm not saying it's bad. It's not good or bad. I'm just saying it is, okay? And or it's good. I'm just gonna come out and say it's good. Fuck you, okay? I like lychee, and
what about cum?
Less good.
Is a texture thing.
You're so right about that. Yeah.
I see also in this picture, Brian, that you've got this giant bag of high chews as well. How'd that pairing turn out for you?
Great. I was acting insane. That was a lot of sugar for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got half that bag of haichu in my car, by the way. We got 2 bags of haichu, one for the shop and one for me. Because I had the night before, been in the car as we had gone to Joann's to go pick up some fabric, and ate a whole thing of. I ate like 10 haichu, right? And so I was just like flipping out. I was watching TikToks in the back seat. Everybody was like,
you were
people
overstimulated, and people you had to you had to go to bed early.
I was seriously just like chuckling and telling my phone to shut up, alternating back and forth.
That's what TikTok does to you, though. TikTok will.
I'm a
no matter how well you can train your algorithm, TikTok loves to show you things that you just want to shout, "Shut the fuck up! I don't want to hear about this" at your phone.
Yeah, it was like 90% ads that I was saying that to. I was just like, "Oh, ad, shut up!" And TikTok has this beautiful feature where you can just skip past an ad, super easy. It's not like YouTube where you have to be like, "Okay, I gotta wait and press a button." It's just like, swipe, done. Fuck that ad, get out of here. And I love that. I think that's the best way to do ads. Big fan.
You ever fuck with? I had a dragon fruit haichu earlier today. Actually, little dragon fruit seeds in it. You ever fuck with that?
We don't get nice things up here, so no. We've got mango and strawberry, and that's it.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with mango or strawberry.
I know. I'm kidding. I wanted to be dramatic. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we watched a movie too at some point, right?
Oh yeah, we did watch a movie. Hey, viewers. All right, I'm gonna mention a few words. All right, and I want you to think about how they make you feel. All right. If you haven't looked at the title of this episode, don't look now. Okay. I just want to put a few words out there. Some kind of like vibes, right? So, we're thinking like, Verhoeven. We're thinking soap opera actors.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking Bug. We're thinking harsh critique of fascism.
Yeah. Shame that harsh critique falls apart in the second half.
I know it's absolutely nuts because the second half of the movie comes along and it's just like, where did the critique go? It's not obvious. That's so. Why are we like that?
This is the bitchy episode of the podcast where both of us are floating around on various over-the-counter substances while making pot shots at people who we know, kind of.
Like, I don't know how. I don't know how someone could watch this movie and not. I mean,
it's a common take too. We're going to talk about this in the abstract and not the specific person who said this, because I think this genuinely was like a crack.com take in like fucking 2010 that the movie or it may have been. I hear this all the time about fucking what's the movie where the guy kills himself? He's like on the toilet.
That's like a ton of movies.
Full Metal Jacket ? People I think have the same complaint about Full Metal Jacket, where they're like, it's a great satire, and then the second half of the movie, it just sort of turns into an action movie, and it's like, well, I don't think you're right about that. I don't think you know how to watch a movie, is what I think about that.
I think you're really wrong about that. But yeah, it's I think that this movie is like a masterpiece, up there with RoboCop. Like these masterpiece critiques that are just really, really nice, really well done. And Paul Verhoeven is a weird little guy, but great job, big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, because it is common, right? It is common for people to fall into this idea, either that like the critique falls off at some point, or that or just like to not get it, right? And that happens famously with American History X. Right?
Yeah.
People love American History X if they're Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
And that's concerning. because that movie is explicitly, through most of the movie, very like Nazis bad.
Yeah, being a Nazi fucked up Edward Norton's life. So maybe you should think twice about posting that image of Pepe the Frog as a based epic groiper or whatever the fuck.
Epic groiper. I can't remember who it was. I think it was actually a friend of the show, Zotz, who told me about this. Was somebody growing up who would show the movie all the time, like really loved the movie. And would get about, I'm sorry to steal your story, Zotz. Really, I am. But I got it because this is important. It's important to this, right? Getting through like the black and white portion of American History X, and then just stopping the movie every time. Start it over again. Run it back, and it's just like, oh, they only liked the part that was like, yeah, Nazis, yay, and then the entire second part of the movie that is very anti-Nazi.
Yeah.
Which is like subverting all of the things from the first half of the movie, is just, I don't know about that. And that's nuts to me. But that's also a common thing. It's fucking wild. I don't know how this happens.
You know how I think it happens? I've actually got a very, maybe this applies more to Starship Troopers and American History X. But,
go.
So I think people will watch Starship Troopers and they'll see a bunch of like blonde-haired, blue-eyed kids like playing a bunch of football in high school and talking about joining the military and having this like this really sense of patriotic honor to everything they're doing, and they'll be like, oh, that's just like what my life is, not realizing that they are also fascists living in America.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many little points throughout the movie that are just like, that should make those people even go, huh, I don't know. Well, that's always what gets to me is like, you get to those newsreels and they're like, it's the newsreels. A murderer was captured and execution live on television.
Yeah.
Or fucking what's it? The no voting unless you had military service, and it's like, and it's just like, oh,
I hear people now. I work with a bunch of psychopaths, but I do hear people at my job all the time talking about how compulsive service is like a good thing that we should have here.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I get the argument. There are arguments for that it's just like it keeps people engaged in stuff, but it's also like
people engaged with fucking the extraction of resources.
People engaged in the extraction of resources. People engaged in the
colonial violence
of semen from the balls of dead soldiers. Yeah, it's like there's all this weird shit, and it's I don't know. I maybe there's just a lot of sickos out there. You're right. Maybe it's just because we're so full. There's so many sickos out there who think
maybe
that,
it's just we're just so woke, and no one else is as woke as we are. Is why we're having trouble understanding this.
That's so true. That's so true. All these sieve-brained idiots fucking dancing around, being like, I want to protect Earth civilization and protect it from the scourge, the constructed scourge of alien aggression. Bug aggression. I mean, like, I don't know. It's just so funny. I don't know how. Like, they even have a scene in the fucking movie where it's just like the reporter's like, well, this reporter and the reporter's shown to be a fucking idiot, right? Mm-hmm. That's like the whole thing. He's like doing a line and gets ripped apart by a bug, right?
Mm-hmm.
But before that, he's on the ship interviewing soldiers, and he has this one line where he's doing it directly to the camera. Some say, as like a counterbalance to like the patriotism shit, right? And he's just like, and some say that our aggression into bug territory is actually why they're fighting with us. And Johnny Rico, the main character, the fascist wonder child is just like, I'm from Buenos Aires and I say kill them all. And it's just like, I've seen this movie like 5,000 times, by the way. So like I can quote large swaths of this movie. Yeah. It's funny because the movie does produce these like moments where it's supposed to like take you out and be like, oh yeah, that's a good point. And then the movie like jumps back to propaganda mode and is like, oh fuck that. And I love that. I love that so much.
It is very funny how it correctly summarizes the fascist counter argument to even the slightest criticism, which is what the fuck are you, a pussy, huh?
Yeah.
Little pussy bitch. Don't want to kill any bugs, huh?
I loved also the scenes of Buenos Aires being destroyed.
Yeah.
Again, they go in and they're showing like people digging. There's like aid workers digging someone out of a bunch of rubble. But then right afterwards, they show a close up of this very obviously fake dead dog, right? And they zoom out to this guy, and he just looks directly into the camera and he says, "The only good bug is a dead bug." And it's just like, and it's such like a perfectly framed shot where it's like playing on people's like weird obsession with like their animals, right? And being like, because that's the kind of thing that does also. I'm just saying, if you wanted to get like cops, defunded, right? If that was your political agenda, leaning into the cops shoot dogs angle, it would actually be very effective in the United States. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying.
That's true. That's what they're fucking horniest for more than anything. Is they they just love shooting dogs.
Yeah,
shooting dogs and shooting empty cars when an acorn falls on them. Or no, sorry, cars with a suspect in them. I forgot.
Yeah, no, there was a person in there. Yeah, You ever just hear an acorn drop on your car and think pretend you've been shot, so you just unload on someone?
My favorite part about that video is the fucking Dark Souls rolls that he does.
I haven't seen the video because I didn't want to see a dead body, but
there's no dead body in the video. I don't think. I didn't notice it if there was
thank
one.
Goodness.
You can.
I just
don't worry. You can watch
fun.
you can watch the cop suffer from Havana syndrome safely.
Thank goodness. I'll go watch that movie presently. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just really, really funny seeing all these the societal ills being outlined in this movie, and just completely like, and then just going through and subverting all of them by like being like, yeah, pride and honor, and it's just like, oh yeah, and then they actually get to the battlefield and are just massacred immediately by these bugs that they underestimated immediately because they have such hubris, because they are fascists and they don't live in any sort of reality. They have their own separate reality they've created where they are undefeatable. One thing I think that they should have done in the movie, though, when the Sky Marshal retires, resigns, excuse me, he should have fucking killed himself. That would have, I think, been even better.
Brian, we're not allowed to say that when we're supposed to be. We have this whole bit planned about how we're going to be the first podcast to be anti-suicide.
No, this is like as part of we are very anti-suicide here. Okay,
extremely anti-suicide.
We only tell some people.
Listen, I think no one should kill themselves, no matter how much the world would be a better place if they did. I still think they should.
That's so magnanimous of you. That's so magnanimous of you. Oh my god. Yeah, fucking But like, imagine, like, instead of just like shaking hands and then disappearing into the back row, being like, I'm no longer the leader of the military, just being like on stage and just like cuts himself open with a fucking knife. Like, it would have been so Verhoeven. It would have been so good. I just have to imagine like somebody said no, that you can't do that for the for ratings or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was the woke agenda that kept them from having the suicide scene in Starship Troopers.
Yeah, they were like, that's too far. You could do a lot of shit. You could have all the corn syrup on the fucking planet, but you can't have political leaders offing themselves because of their bad decisions. That'd be too far. Hitler did
it. Hitler did do it. You're right.
You know?
But yeah. The other thing I think about Starship Troopers that really stuck with me throughout the entire thing is how much of a little incel our main guy, what's his face? Fucking
Johnny Rico.
Johnny Rico is through the whole runtime of the movie, just constantly fucking self-sabotaging probably what would have been like a much better life for him, specifically to get into this girl's pants that isn't into him. That I think is maybe like I guess not isn't into him, but just is not on a different life trajectory, and like he like loses like everything in his life basically to fucking chase after this like high school relationship that was like always going to end, you know?
Yeah.
And like if we talk about the framing of inside the movie, like realistically he would have died if he didn't do that, because he would have been either in Buenos Aires or he would have been on a vacation planet or whatever that they mention, just got completely wiped off out screen. So but even that I think is a preferable alternative to fucking becoming a Nazi.
Becoming a space Nazi who flies around and gets just like beat the fuck up all the time too. Just amazing stuff. Like
what he turns into is he turns into his fucking weird history teacher is what is his arc.
Well, I think that's one of the most brilliant parts of this movie is that Johnny Rico has no ego to push outwards. He is entirely a vessel for all of his superiors to just like feed information into. He is the perfect soldier. Like he's like very strong. He's very good at what he does, but he is also importantly instillable with any value that you want. You could just be like, hey, Johnny, if I am going to die, you're going to kill me. Okay.
Yeah, and he just does it. He's just like fucking yeah, of course. Like he hesitates for like maybe a couple seconds, but then he just fucking like murks his CO.
He says, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do," and then he says it again. He's like, "Okay, sure, fuck it." And this happens again and again throughout the movie. Is somebody tells him what to do, and he does it, and not his family.
Yeah.
His family, the government, the people in the government are telling him what to do. And he's like, okay, my commanding officer said to do this. Okay. All right. I'm hop to.
There's also that moment at the beginning of the movie where his weird teacher, he's not his commanding officer yet. He's like at a graduation party asking him like just for advice about, should I sign up or something like that? And his weird teacher is just immediately tells him like, oh, you got to figure that out for yourself. And then he just makes the decision entirely based off of what someone else wants, like right after that, and then turns into the weird teacher at the end of the fucking movie.
And he just becomes the guy. He just like, oh yeah, well, I will just become him. And the lines that fucking Ratchek has throughout the movie, just amazing stuff. That's the teacher, by the way, Ratchek. And Ratchek is just like, oh yeah, fucking it's your job until you die or I find somebody better. And it's just like embodying these fascist ideals in everything, in fucking everything. It's throughout the whole fucking movie. Everything is just like, how do I make it sound like propaganda? But also it's going to be, it's like that weird meritocratic kind of idea, but also more of like survival of the fittest kind of bent to it. And it's just, they just keep like, it's like, oh, you're outliving your superior officers. So naturally you're just going to keep getting promoted and promoted. And, even killing your superior officers to get to the spot at the top. It's very dark. It's very dark.
One of my favorite lines is the one that they say all the time, like, "Come on, you apes, you want to live forever."
Yeah, that like death worship idea. It's so fucking. Oh God. I don't know how you can look at this and be like, yes, this is not, just a continual satire through the entire thing, because it just keeps going. It never stops. Fucking Neil Patrick Harris shows up in an SS uniform at the end of the movie. Like, come on.
Yeah, our blonde-haired, blue-eyed, psychic super soldier. Fucking
like how he's the evolution of the human race, and then showing up in an SS uniform. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my God. But Hugo Boss never looked so good. I'm just saying, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I love this movie. Do you have any like critiques of this movie? I could just like talk about all the cool things I love about this movie, all day.
What did I hate about Starship Troopers? I don't think there was enough new metal in the soundtrack. And
That's
I
true.
think someone should have had like a big like knife you get at the Mall Ninja store. There is a little bit of Mall Ninja knife action that happens in the movie, right? Because it's not like a major through line, but that's the knife that they at the end of the movie where they slice that one bug up with. That's
the pussy bug,
the brain eater,
the brain bug, the brain bug with the face that is highly vaginal. Yeah, that's like, I don't know, the visual text of that is just so fucking, God.
Yeah.
And they continue to fuck with that through the entire time the brain bug's in the movie, because
they have
the first scene.
They have like at the very end, they have like the propaganda film about dissecting the brain bug or whatever, and they have like the fucking speculum. They just shove it to its mouth.
Yeah, they shove the speculum into the brain bug's mouth, and it screams.
Yeah, and there's like a big censored thing over it. It's like,
yeah.
Jesus.
To make it even more fucked up, they were like, yeah, we're gonna put a censor screen over this, and it's like to let you know there's in no uncertain terms that this is fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They'll keep fighting and they'll win.
Yeah.
What a good line. What a good line. Just like, yeah, we're gonna win. We're the winners. We win. God, I hope we could continue watching Starship Troopers a little bit. We're on vacation. We're on Zegama Beach, everybody, okay?
Yeah. Is that what our next episode is going to be? Are we going to become the Starship Troopers podcast and just do a new episode about Starship Troopers every week?
I just want to do a little vacation. Just a little vacation for Starship Troopers, We could do Marauders, or we could do one of the bad ones. I don't know, up to you. But Marauders is fucking amazing. I want to
What is Marauders?
Marauders is the third Starship Troopers movie.
Oh. So you just want to go through the whole fucking series.
I don't want to go through the whole fucking series. I want to do 1 and 3. The rest of them are garbage, completely unnecessary to watch.
Yeah, we could do 3. Here's the thing: is I'm very eager to watch 3 because either you'll be correct and it'll be a fucking banger movie, or I'll have a new thing to make fun of you about for the rest of your life about liking Starship Troopers 3.
And either way, I will be happy with it because nobody watches that movie, and that movie is fucking amazing. I need somebody to have another opinion about it.
Yeah.
So I can be like, feel anything, right?
Yeah. You were talking a lot about the CG in Starship Troopers 1, right? No, that's
yeah.
That's how that was fucking ahead of its time. I kind of think the CG itself maybe less of like a big technical leap than just how it was shot and like the environment, the lighting and everything, and the fact that they shake the camera around like it owes them money every time there's anything CG on screen.
It definitely helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's part of it, right? That's part of making CG look good. Is that it needs to be like integrated into a thing, right? So,
right.
I'm not trying to say that like necessarily the models look amazing. I think they do look really good. But like the way that they integrate into the movie is fairly seamless because of all these little tricks that are being used. The shaky cam, the dark rooms and worlds that they're on most of the time. Mm-hmm. Although there are the light ones too that look pretty good when they do the light ones for like the scene where, God, what's his name? Is it Megumi? Megumi fucking ends up blasting that bug and makes a comment about how they don't look so tough when you scrape them off their boot.
Yeah.
In another scene that I'm just like, how could you look at this and not think that this is a parody of
he says that and then like fucking shoots the shit out of the already dead bug and has like a bunch of fucking gut spray all over his face too. It's like
he looks fucked. It's like, oh, this guy's fucked.
This guy's on some genuine SS methamphetamines is what this guy's on.
Seriously. That would have been such a good beat for the movie too, is putting meth into the movie. More meth in movies.
There's a thing to be critical about is that they aren't like fucking like doing lines.
Yeah. They're not getting their injections before they go into battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about a second ago though? CG. Yeah, CG.
Yeah.
So like all of this like CG blends really well with everything else. So that's when I'm saying that like CG looks good. I think that it's like a director's duty on top of like CG artists to make CG look good because you have to create a good spot for the CG to happen. And I think that's like what Verhoeven did here. And I think that's what the CG artists did here is that they like came together and created a really cohesive piece. And you could see that with other things. Like you could see it with Jurassic Park. It looked fucking amazing. But other things that came out around the same time, just a couple years before, we're talking Spawn, right? And if you look at Spawn's graphics, they look fucked. Like unless you're talking about if you're talking about the graphics of the Cape, because it's all dark scenes, it looks okay. But if you get to when they're in hell and there's like bright lights everywhere, it just looks like it looks like the Blue video from Eiffel 65 or whatever.
It really does. And I mean, that's like something I think people lose a lot of sight in just when talking about CG in general, is like the idea of like the fidelity of the CG or whether the CG looks real or not. But like anything where that's like, it's not like a fully computer generated movie. Like you put a real object in front of a camera and you don't shoot it the right way, it's going to look like shit no matter what. Right. The same thing is going to be the case for CG. I'm interested.
This looks better than the Avengers movie.
I'm interested in knowing, so you have your weird bug hunt movie that no one else has seen, Starship Troopers, Trace. I have a weird bug hunt movie that no one except me has ever seen, and it's the 1998 Lost in Space film.
Oh my God!
Have you seen that movie?
I don't know if I have. I think I have, but okay. I'm not sure.
I'm interested in seeing, because I remember watching that movie, and I remember as a kid thinking the CG is really cool in that movie, and I did think at multiple times in Starship Troopers, wow, this reminds me of Lost in Space 1998, which is also a fascist movie, I think, although not really a parody of fascism and more just it's fascist. I'll watch your bug hunt movie that no one else saw. If you watch my bug hunt movie that no one else saw.
We're going to Zegama Beach, everybody. The next 2 episodes after this one, we're on Zegama Beach. It crawls, okay?
Yeah.
We're on vacation and it crawls. Skitter, 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 skitter. Oh my god. God. Okay. Let's dial it back for a second. What is like, let's pick some favorite scenes from the movie. How about that?
Yeah, I kind of what is a favorite scene of mine from the movie? I do kind of like how they like set up this this sort of relationship. It's not really one particular scene, but more of like a collection of scenes that sort of have the same framing to them, and it just escalates continuously. Like at the very beginning of the movie, fucking Johnny and I can't remember the names of fucking anyone in the movie. Who's the quarterback lady?
That would be Dizzy.
Dizzy, yeah. So fucking Johnny and Dizzy have like this relationship where Dizzy is making all these calls or whatever, and in this like supportive role for Johnny, and then Johnny is just fucking hot dogging the shit out of it and taking all the credit. And they show this at the beginning of the movie where it's like, yeah, Johnny won the big game by doing one of Dizzy's plays, and then they escalate this when he and Dizzy are in training. And Dizzy is like, yeah, do that same play that we did in the in the football game, and he does that and fucking kicks ass in the training sim and shoots like everyone. And he gets like immediately lauded with praise and transfers none of that over to Dizzy except for privately, where he's like, oh yeah, thanks Dizzy.
Thanks, I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah. And this goes on and on throughout the entire movie until he consciously does not say I love you back to her, which is another callback to fucking the girl he's obsessed with not saying I love you back to him.
Yeah.
While she's like fucking like dying in his arms. And he's been like promoted to lieutenant of the mobile infantry. It's just fucking like just this this. It's not necessarily just a callback because they do it like probably like 4 or 5 times throughout the course of the movie, and every single time it just gets more and more unhinged the way he's behaving.
Oh my god, yeah, it's this movie's fucking nuts. I mean, the moment where they're like, where Ratchek basically has to be like, Johnny, go fuck her. Because that happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Ratchek, the commanding officer, literally is like, oh, you're denying a dance with Dizzy right now? You need to like take care of yourself and have fun, you fucking ape.
Yeah,
and
that's what it takes for him to do it, is an order from his commanding officer.
Yeah, he says go fuck, and Johnny says yes sir, and so and meanwhile you have fucking Jake Busey playing a green violin and making weird eyes at everyone in the place. The vibes are rancid.
Yeah,
rancid. Also, Jake Busey in this movie is one of my favorite things.
That guy, yeah. Like literally just like when was it when he was just like he was offered a promotion to squad lead? That's also another extremely funny thing that sort of plays off of both of this, is the scene where he's promoted to corporal. Johnny Rico is. And he's there with Dizzy and Jake Busey.
That has Jake Busey has a name, but he's just Jake Busey.
And like he's like choosing who his like second in command is gonna be, and it's not the fucking woman who's like been uplifting him this whole fucking movie. It's this random blonde dude who doesn't even want the job. Yeah. It's just like some fucking weirdo who's just like, yeah, I want to kill bugs.
Yeah. Oh, I couldn't. I failed once already. I just want to kill bugs. Yeah, and also like earlier in the movie, Jake Busey's character was like, "Oh, I'm on the officer track. I want to get into like, being a commander. That's I want to be a future sky marshal, right? In the shower scene." And then fucking I don't know. The shower scene is such a huge part of this movie. People talk about it like, oh yeah, it's just like, it's just ogling tits, but it's no, that is not what that scene is at all. That scene, everybody is standing together in a co-ed shower. All this like perceived equality that they're all experiencing, right? It's like, oh yeah, we've evolved past the need for segregated showers and yada yada yada, right? Meanwhile, in the movie, like all of the choices still end up leading Johnny Rico and to be like empowered, where Dizzy is not. Dizzy is sidelined despite being as good or better than him at most things.
Probably, I think, pretty clearly better. At least from like a leadership perspective, where like she is like actually able to like she's the one who's calling the shots the whole time, and then she doesn't ever get recognized for that in like a leadership role.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, and so that there's that. Also in the shower scene, they're listing off all of these, all of their reasons for joining up. And Jake Busey's the only one who's like, I'm going to go career. I'm going to become a like future sky marshal. Right. And fucking everybody else is like, I need something. I want to have a baby. I want to get into politics. I want, what was it? I want to go to Harvard, right? And all these people are joining the military so that they can go and do these things.
Wanting to go to Harvard is a pretty classic reason for becoming a fascist, though. That he's definitely cooking true with that one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sadly, he dies like immediately, but that's his thing. He wants to. He can't afford to go to Harvard, even though he got in. So, got to join the mobile infantry, and which is actually that's a little bit of a thing, because you'd think that somebody going to Harvard, getting Harvard test scores, would probably end up more on the Neil Patrick Harris path. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, Harvard's not about test scores. It's about having parents give the school like $1 million.
Like in real life, you're right. But in this movie, it's explicitly that his parents don't have the kind of money for that. So I don't know. It's fucking, that's a plot hole. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I don't know.
Any way you slice it, that's a plot.
Because here's the thing: it's an 18-year-old kid's understanding that the reason he can't go to Harvard is because his parents don't have the money. Well,
I mean, yeah. There's also it is also a movie. I think an important lens to look at this movie is that this is a movie in universe.
Yeah.
Right. So like in the universe of Starship Troopers, this is a propaganda movie in that universe.
Right.
And so like this is also the propaganda of, oh, well, if you want to go to Harvard, you join the mobile infantry, even though that despite that being like a completely, there's like so many steps of broken chain in between those things. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got a point with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Fucking Denise Richards also becoming I do think it's very interesting that like where in the mobile infantry you have this like very misogynistic like culture around it. In the sky not the sky marshals, in the Navy, it's like not flipped, but it is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if that was something they were thinking about when they made that. I do think it was interesting that they did choose to replace the white man sky marshal with a black woman sky marshal. I'm like, what you cooking here? What you cooking here, Paul? What you cooking here?
New commander of the Federation Armed Forces, Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, maybe he was cooking. Just saying. Yeah. I don't know. This movie is so fucking good.
Yeah.
This movie's so fucking good. Okay, my favorite scene I can think of off the top of my head, though. The funeral scene.
Yeah.
In which the recently promoted Johnny Rico, Corporal Rico, right, is overseeing a funeral for 2 dead soldiers, Dizzy, and I believe they also mention Ratchek.
Yeah. They don't have his body, but yeah, they do mention him.
Yeah, they mention him. Dizzy's the only body they have left from the bloodbath on Planet P. And they end up sending her out into the he remarks on what is important about her life, and it is that she is a citizen because she joined the mobile infantry. That's the good thing about Diz. No mention about their relationship outside of them being friends for a long time. just that she is citizen, and she died a citizen.
Yeah. I think he literally says that's the most important thing about Dizzy.
He does. Yes. And so they have her sitting under this Nazi battle flag. The green and white and blue.
The Kekistan flag.
The literal Kekistan flag, yeah. The one that Kekistan fucking modeled their flag off of that battle flag. That it can't be more explicit. And she gets sent out into space as this under this flag, and everybody's saluting as she's drifting off into space in this casket. And it's just, oh my god. And then fucking Neil Patrick Harris shows up dressed like a SS officer and is like, well, had to send you down there. I know people have to die, but people die every day in this war. There was a very low survival chance for that, though. But I'm glad you're back and safe. And even like is just telling them, like, quibbling about like the politics of sending people to die. And it's like, why send people to die every day, boys and girls? And it's just like, oh my god, it's just so fucking, so rough. It's so rough. Also, the drill sergeant. Zeb?
Yeah.
He ends up there's like a reference early in the movie where he's trying to go to the war because he's so amped up but the guy
he's like you after having
training
a bag of high chews.
He just ate a whole bag of high chew, maybe smoked a little meth, and he's like, and the guy running the training center, a training camp, is like, you'll have to bust yourself down to private to be able to go fight in the war. And of course, he busts himself down to private to go fight in the war. And he's like very proud of that. And I just thought that was very weird. It's like, yeah, I'm very proud I busted myself down to private to go fight in this war and capture the brain bug. And that's just all part of the like propagandistic framing of this movie. Is it's just like, yeah, all of these people are fully mobilized for this purpose, and it doesn't matter who you are. You're part of the body. You're part of the body that is the fascist state trying to win this war.
Yeah. It's like literally like not even like it's like you can see the contradictory framing the entire movie where they're like, these are our enemies who are we have to fight for domination of the galaxy, but they're just these big dumb animals, essentially, is how they're seen by, like, whether or not that's actually true, how they're seen by the like human establishment. And like,
I frankly find the idea of a thinking bug offensive. Tucker Carlson's simulation in this movie says, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but like the same sort of, our enemy is like both extremely cunning yet and like fighting us for domination, yet they're also intrinsically inferior to us. It's like it's like, it's hard to make it any more explicit than it is in the movie, and the fact that people still don't get it is just, I can't imagine there being any reason why people don't get it other than some degree of being in denial about the world they're currently living in.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's what Bob from work is like too, and he's not a weird fascist.
He doesn't wear Hugo Boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Other highlights: kids stomping bugs on the playground while the teacher scream laughs. Terrifyingly, like, amazing performance. She's on screen for 30 seconds, not even, and amazing performance. Whoever she is deserves an Oscar. Supporting actor. Like, my God.
This is a really minor scene, but I did like really early on in the movie where they're in biology class and they're dissecting one of the bugs, and fucking Johnny Rico is just like immediately like just gets in there and is just yanking out parts of the bug with seemingly no rhyme or reason behind it. He's just yanking it out. It's like, this is inside the bug and now it's outside the bug.
Yeah. Yep. Completely dehumanizing the bug, right?
Yeah.
It's like, or debugging by the, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I fucking mean, listener.
Yeah. Deconscienting. Is that a word?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Also, it's these little bugs that you don't see like anywhere else, except for when they're carrying the brain.
Yeah.
They carry the brains at the end. Interesting. I don't know. Yeah.
Have you read the book?
Always know about the brains? No, I've never read the book.
I've never read the book. I didn't see the movie either. This is my first time experiencing anything about Starship Troopers, I think. Aside from like,
wild.
I've seen like the GIFs.
Yeah. I'm doing my part. I like it when the kid says I'm doing my part and everybody laughs. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's great. It's had an indelible effect on our culture. You can bring this up to a lot of people and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, fucking Starship Troopers, that movie fucking slaps. It's really dumb." Which it's not. It's a brilliant movie. It's great. I'm sorry, haters. This movie is fucking fantastic. You're wrong. But it's just so, oh my God. I can't be normal about this movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely I don't know. It's definitely the type of movie where I'm happy that someone else is really into it, you know? I don't know. It's low hookability rating for me, but that's mostly just because the movie is 2 hours long and nobody at any point starts pulling out a katana while a techno song is playing. But not every movie can be perfect.
That's true. There's no katanas. It's not very, it's the edgelord of this movie is more metatextual than it is textual. You know,
it's still a pretty decent flick.
Like this is legitimately, I'm gonna go on Letterboxd after this, and because I somehow haven't written a review for it before. going to give it 5 stars because I've loved this movie forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it love at first sight? Or did you think this was a 5-star movie the first time you watched it?
I don't think I got it the first time I saw it though, because I was a child. But but yeah, as I've spent time with it, yes, it has grown with me, and I yeah, it's a great movie. It was love at first sight. It is love at current sight as well. I'm so excited for you to see Marauders.
I'm so excited to watch Lost in Space. I think I watched half of that movie, but I was fucking drunk, I think. I don't remember it. That was like a couple months ago, like maybe like 6 months ago. I watched half of it while drunk, and now
amazing.
Now I want to see. We're just watching bug movies now, I guess.
Bug movies,
bugging with trash and mug.
We're bugging out. I think one thing that you're gonna love about Starship Troopers Marauders is that there's a lot of things I don't want to spoil about it because they're amazing. But the acting is so much worse. But that doesn't take away from the movie in any way.
Interesting.
That makes it better for me. The acting is so soap opera through the entire movie. You see these actors that, through time, because you've got, I think the only person returning for the movie is Johnny Rico, Casper Van Dien. And it's just the movie is nuts. It feels like you're watching a fucking fever dream. I actually don't know who directed it. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think Verhoeven directed it.
I don't know. I remember looking at that when you were fucking geeking about this earlier. Yeah. It's definitely Verhoeven was not involved in the anything past the first, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But I think it is a important to describe it as something Verhoeven could have made from how fucking off the rails it goes. It has a song in it.
Oh my fucking god.
It has a patriotic song that I love. I love it so much. Oh my god. There's a chorus to it that's just courage, duty, honor. That happens every fucking couple of measures, and the Sky Marshal performs it. It's like in universe, it has a music video. It's very popular. It's dog.
This is nuts.
Movie is so good. It's so good.
We'll have to talk about that next week then.
Yeah.
As for this week, is there anything left you want to talk about this movie about? Or
no,
Yeah.
They'll fight and they'll win.
That's true. And you know what else is winning? Is the callers on the edging hotline. Let's listen to that.
They're the stars. They're the stars for this part of the episode. Let's go.
These are the people who are doing their part.
Are you doing your part by calling
the number that I forgot? 920-350-EDGE.
All right, let's hit it.
All right, let me pull up our voicemails. So here is message 1.
Hi. Yeah, this is MJ. I'm calling because I heard that we were talking about edging, and I'm a big fan of that. So, let me know if I can come and edge with you guys. Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Thank
MJ.
you so much, MJ.
MJ, I'd love to edge with you.
Yeah, would love to edge. We could get a whole goon sesh going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it going for several days. We'll get a fever of 103.
Call Drake.
We'll just call Drake.
I don't
get a
think
phone call from Drake about it later.
Do you think Drake can come? Did you see Drake's dick?
I saw I saw representations of Drake's dick.
Okay. I saw the real fucking thing. I don't think he can come. I think that's
it was like a summer sausage, right? But it was like limp.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
It was like fucking can't hold the flag at full mast anymore. It's honestly kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the guy's like 50 or something, right?
Yeah.
It happens.
Is Drake 50? How old is Drake?
Alexa, how old is Drake?
Drake is 37 years old.
That's only 37. He's a year older than me.
A year older than you, and still fucking jerking off, I guess.
Yeah,
Hasn't learned better. Hasn't learned how to handle his shit without needing to do that.
I learned how to retain. Yeah, that's
Anyway, MJ, thank you for the
MJ.
message. Sorry we talked about Drake. Won't talk about your voicemail message.
Sorry about talking about Drake's cock.
Let's listen to this other message we've got. This is our message 2 of 2. I've read the transcript of this, but I haven't heard what it sounds like, and I'm so excited, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Technical difficulties. Okay.
Hi guys, I just want to say I love the podcast so much. I don't know if this is going to cost me money because I don't live in the USA, but I love edging, man. Just keep up the good work, okay? I'm super drunk right now.
Okay, so caller with a +44 country code from the UK. I'm from the UK, genuinely making an international call to leave a voicemail. So to you and to any other potential international callers, I'm really pleased to announce that before the show, Brian agreed to actually pay any dialing expenses for international calls to the edging hotline. So yeah. So you can just get in contact with Brian, and they'll be reimbursing you for any expenses related to calling the podcast.
Terms and conditions. Any amount over 10 cents will not be reimbursed.
That's completely different from what you told me earlier, but okay.
Well, I am famously a liar. So
yeah. Sorry if that cost you a bunch of money to leave that voicemail, but that's the fucking rules.
I really hope it didn't cost you that much. But if it did, I want you to know it was worth it for the love that I'm feeling in my heart right now for getting a call from the UK to say that you listener liked our podcast enough. And also props on being drunk and drunk dialing the podcast. It's amazing. You're amazing. Thank you so much. This is why we did the whole sketch at the beginning, and also there was a part in the movie that I forgot to mention at any point where Johnny Rico gets broken up with over the phone. That's the other part of the thing. Okay, explaining the jokes. It's what I'm good for.
Yeah, I was thinking we were going to leave that as a cool little Easter egg for the rare listener who actually watches the movies we talk about.
Should have done that. It's if you stick around in the podcast long enough, I will explain anything that happens. Do you need me to explain how taxes work?
Let's take some acid and do taxes.
Let's take some acid and do some taxes, everybody.
That's our words of wisdom for the end of the show. I don't think we have any emails. If you need to get a hold of us, if you're experiencing like a medical emergency and you need our immediate assistance, you should give us a call at the number that I keep forgetting, 920-350-EDGE, the edging hotline.
Edge.
Or you can shoot us an email at edgelordpod@gmail.com.
Or DM us on social medias.
We actually
also kind
of
have
an email that I completely forgot about.
Oh shit! Okay, let's go.
Yeah, the email is from the Knife Hoss.
Oh,
and it
okay.
just says, it's the subject line says "Big fan."
Is there a text?
No. End of message.
Thank you, Knifehoss.
Thank you, Rammers.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You're great. You're great. We love you, and keep on shining. Golden pony.
Yeah. And to all the rest of you golden ponies, have a good one. Have a good one. Godspeed, you dog-faced pony soldier.